going to flush your brain down the toilet. Stay the fuck at home, you bunch of daft cunts. Oh, what's happened there? Well, we have parties at number 10. So Bill Gates has made some jam and you've all got to eat it. And if you don't, I'm going to take away all your toys. And I would have got away with it too if it hadn't been for those pesky light workers. Yes, I'm your shadow and I'm from your future. And I've come to tell you something about something that happened to me in the future. I was in some kind of dystopian, post-apocalyptic concentration camp for people who knew too much. And one day I was in the courtyard with all the other prisoners, and in the middle of the courtyard there was this big metallic dinosaur, and all the prisoners were climbing up on scaffolding and cleaning it and cleaning its teeth, and I could see that some of them were allowing themselves to be eaten by it, and they were pretending they were okay with it, but you could tell they were quietly terrified. And I saw them passing through this monster's tummy down a kind of rusty conveyor belt, and they were getting squirted with acid, and then they came out the other end as cyborgs with reptilian brains, and they spent the rest of their lives worshipping this monster. So myself and the cognoscenti obviously weren't having any of this, so we were on the other side of the courtyard, but we had a different fate. So at the far end of the courtyard there was this row of giant cathedral-like doors, and they all opened up, and out marched some giant SS guards dressed as black pyramids. And they marched towards us, and then stopped, and then the sides of their pyramids opened up, and inside they were holding little silver submarines, which were actually machine guns, and they started shooting at us. Everyone was running all over the place, lots of people were dying, and the dead people got eaten up by this giant pea-like creature with glass teeth, and then that creature was eaten by the dinosaur. But I managed to escape. I got over a fence and I was running away, and as I was running, my trousers kept falling down. And of all the times for that to happen, and I wasn't wearing any underpants. So I went to hide in a cake shop, and there was a giant panda inside eating all the cakes. And when I went in, he suddenly stopped, and he looked up at me and said, "Would you like to buy a wardrobe?" And then he carried on eating. He didn't sell me one. I don't think he was a genuine salesman. He didn't have genuine intent. Anyway, I was looking for a disguise, and I found a big blue duffel coat, and I put it on, and I put the hood up, and as soon as I put the head up, my head disappeared. There was a big black hole where my head should be. And the thing that I couldn't understand was, how did I know that I didn't have a head? And I think it's evidence that the mind is not contained within the brain. So, I put the coat on, I went out of the shop to carry on with my life. And the moment I stepped out of the shop, bang, the universe disappeared. And of all the times for that to happen. So I went to go back into the shop, and the shop had disappeared. I was floating in an unimaginable void of infinite nothingness. So I did what anyone would do in that situation. I rummaged around in the pockets of my coat, and I found a fraction of a haunted castle. At least I thought it was a fraction. It turned out to be a fractal. It was a condensed version of a whole castle. I lobbed it out as far as I could because I knew I needed to create a new universe, and I needed to start by creating 2 points of reference. I looked the castle out in front of me. I started walking towards it. And as I walked, I was creating a new universe with my mind. It was a utopia. There was no evil. Everything was exactly as I wished. And when I reached the castle, I found a note pinned to the gate. And I managed to bring that note back from the other dimensions. And I'm going to read it to you now. It's actually a quote from Bill Hicks. That's where he lives. The world is like a ride in an amusement park. And when you choose to go on it, you think it's real. Because that is how powerful our minds are. The ride goes up and down and round, and it has thrills and chills. And it's very brightly coloured, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Many people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to wonder, hey, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride. And we kill those people. Shut him up. I've got a lot invested in this ride. Shut him up. Look at my furrows of worry. Look at my big bank account and my family. This has to be real. It's just a ride. But we always kill those good guys who try to tell us that and let the demons run amok. But it doesn't matter because it's just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money, just a simple choice right now between fear and love. And as a spoiler for what the future holds, I assure you that love has already won. We are just deciding as a collective reality the path and timeline we take to remember what has already occurred. So don't take no shit. I believe the planet is shaped like a teapot, and even the flat earthers think I'm mad. Don't take no shit. Say what you're thinking, and that will save humanity.